What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I did want to talk about the year 2 update and how it could get Motorfest on the right path. Now, this is probably going to have a lot of different factors in it, but the key word I would say in this, though, is probably going to be could. Now, we all do know we're obviously getting the big map expansion here in November, and I would say pretty much everybody is excited for it, but let's be honest here, there are still a lot of things we have discussed recently in other videos, and I feel like other content creators are saying it as well, that the game really does need other things to be added on top of the map expansion. When looking around to different comment sections on different videos and also checking out things on Discord, I have been looking at what people have been saying. Yes, everybody is excited for the update to come out, even though it's around 4.5 months away from now, which is honestly a bit insane. We all do know we're obviously getting a new map that's going to be similar to Oahu, right? Which currently, I think it's going to be the same size map as Oahu, or at least close to it. Let me know in the comments below if anybody has actually measured both of them together on that big map. I'm not sure if they're going to be the same size. To me, though, I would say Maui does look a bit smaller. I could be wrong, but again, we're probably going to know more once the map actually does end up releasing. But I was seeing people going, you know what, they are adding a new map to the game, that's dope. But the only issue is no matter how many maps they add or what map they add to the game, it's still going to be just like Oahu in a way, and it's never going to have the same map feeling as something like The Crew 2. Now, don't get me wrong here, guys, I do understand both games are obviously different. Like, The Crew 2 had a way different setting. Now we're in Motorfest with like a festival type of setting, which is most likely going to be fairly similar to Forza. Now, this isn't going to be a bad thing, but the big thing here is they have to execute this. One of my biggest concerns about that map is probably going to be the fact that, well, a lot of players are probably going to be tired of Oahu a year in. They're then going to jump on Maui, right? And then boom, around 2 or 3 months in, they're most likely going to be bored of it. I did actually end up mentioning this in the map expansion video because I feel like that's going to be a thing. We all know a lot of these things could be a good step in the right direction, but again though, could this actually get Motorfest on the correct path though? The main reason why I'm mentioning this is let's take a look after the map expansion or the update coming in November, right? The one after that is said to be in March, okay? If that update does come out, it brings us one playlist again with a couple of new vehicles, and there isn't going to be much of anything in the said updates after the big one coming out in November. I do feel like the game is most likely just going to die off completely. Like, I don't want to say that, but it really does look like we're going down that path, man, because let's be real, having one playlist every 3 or 4 months is just not enough content. Now, I do know I have mentioned that in other videos, but let's be honest, though, we gotta get this out there, and I do know for a fact I can't be feeling the exact same way. Like, a lot of people are looking at the map expansion going, let's go, a new place to drive on. And then I also see comments are going, well, hold on, everybody. Yes, we're getting that, but where are going to be the new PvP events? Or what can we actually do on the map? What are they then going to add with it? We haven't got much of any information on bigger events and also things being changed in the game that definitely need it. Once again, the summits, man. The reason why I mention that a lot, by the way, is the fact that, well, that is going to be one of the main parts of the end game content in Motorfest. So that should obviously be really fun and also keep players engaged in it, right? And then on top of that, though, it's most likely going to encourage players to get on the game more often and most likely not get on it on every single Wednesday. Most likely do the summit and then call it an entire week and go play something else. Now, the reason why I did say could in the title is going to come down to a few different factors, which at this point I would say everybody is going to agree pretty much 100% with. So I did mention, yes, we're getting the update in November, obviously, right? After that, though, we're then going to get the next update in March. The next one after that's probably going to be 3 or 4 months from that one. The big thing here is every update after that one, guys, has to be on point. Now, what I do mean by that is every single one has to add something new to the game in a good way. For example, if they just go in there and go, okay, here's a main stage thing, and we're also going to have 4 summits with 3 of them having like nitros and tire smokes in them. And then for the final summit that month, we're actually going to have a car that's neither going to have a special color like a body kit on it, or it's going to be something completely new. Also, seriously guys, let me know in the comments below on this one. When was the last time we actually had a new car as a summer reward? Now, what I mean by that is going to be something like the lovely Lamborghini Huracan Performante. When did we actually get a new legit car in the game as a summit vehicle instead of it being like a kitted vehicle that's already in the game? That would also attract a lot more players to do the summits because boom, that is a car that legit nobody has at all. That would be so dang fun to go after those. And I feel like small things like that would definitely help so much. But here's the thing again, though. We do have those summer rewards, right? Everybody's going to be like, okay, so every update's going to have one playlist and stuff. The big thing, though, is we need more changes in the game that's going to get people more into it. There's also a few things I have been thinking about with this. So we all do know we're obviously getting Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown in September, right? I also do know the Need for Speed Unbound update is also coming around that same time, which, we're also then getting the update in November for this game. So we're probably going to have around a month or longer to actually play Test Drive and also the Need for Speed update. Which, the funny thing to me, guys, I really did not even realize until someone mentioned it, and I also kept watching the trailer over and over. That trailer legit reminds me so much of Need for Speed Unbound, man, not even kidding. I'm not saying they're necessarily copying stuff, like they could have took ideas and stuff like that, but we're also then going to be getting an entire Chase Squad update with police in Motorfest, right? At around the same time, we're then going to get a Hot Pursuit update in Need for Speed Unbound. And the other thing here, though, is we all do know both games are obviously going to be different with like their handling, the atmospheres, and pretty much everything about them. So we're probably not really going to be able to compare the updates, right? But the thing is, though, it's probably going to be almost nearly impossible not to compare them. The reason why I do say that is right now in Need for Speed Unbound, guys, we do know they actually made Hot Pursuit back in the day. I mean, that was legit one of my favorite Need for Speed games ever. If they do end up following suit with how that game was, that update is going to be absolutely insane. Now, the thing is, though, what if Motorfest follows a similar suit? I am still really wondering how they're actually going to do this Chase Squad update. Are they going to have it similar to like a racing thing? Is there going to be interceptor stuff? How many police cars are there? Is there going to be a motor pass tied to it? Like, there's a lot of unanswered questions here that everybody is wanting to know. And I really do feel like it's going to be a fair argument, man. Like, not even going to lie here, guys. For all we know, this entire update could perform and most likely make it so Motorfest doesn't go much farther in its life cycle. I know that's probably going to sound a bit insane here, but let's be honest, though. The last 9 or so months in this game have obviously been pretty interesting. We really have not gotten that much communication on stuff. A lot of the updates right now, I would say most players are already very bored of it. So by the time that one comes out, it's going to have to be crazy. On top of that, the next updates are going to have to be even better to keep people on the game even longer. And a lot of that can also come down to the fact that many people now, after playing Motorfest, are like, well, let's see what's going to come out. So we do have the Test Drive Unlimited game coming. We also have the new Need for Speed Unbound update coming out, which is going to be based on a similar thing to Motorfest. So the big question is, let's see how all of these do end up turning out with all of the games actually being out together. And who knows, maybe having more competition like that is exactly what the racing genre actually needs at this point. I guess the biggest thing here, guys, is time is only going to tell, though. Do let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. And I'm curious about this, by the way. What do you guys think the #1 thing Motorfest needs for it to succeed in year 2? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.